2 of the LA edition of 7 Slaps in the Sack. I'm here with Adam from Ham on Everything.
Hey!
Adam Goes Ham. We're about to go back into Amoeba music. We're about to check shit out. He knows where everything is. I don't know where anything is.
I come here once a week. Shout out to Amoeba. I love it.
He's here once a week. So he's gonna, low-key, he's hosting the episode and I'm just here for the ride. So
let's do this.
She say that she still wants a friendship. She can't live her life without me as a friend. I can't figure out why I'd give a damn to what she wants. I don't understand the now before the then. Most of this.
Alright, Adam's got his picks here.
I got my 70 slaps. Alright, time to music nerd out, let's do this. So we're gonna go in chronological order of importance here. So, when I was a kid, first of all, let me preface by saying I'm in my 30s, so I'm a little older. So at first it was like in the late 80s, early 90s, it was like Guns N' Roses, Metallica. Then I discovered rap, and that was like my shit. My first thing I was really into was gangster rap. And this Ice Cube Death Certificate is literally like, when people talk about hip hop classics, they talk about Nas, Illmatic, fucking Reasonable Doubt. This is a fucking hip-hop classic, and I think that people discredit it because it's gangster rap or whatever, but I feel like even in like underground music culture, like gangster rap was like the original no frills underground type shit. And this album is just like fucking amazing to me. On the back of it, you got Ice Cube, you got the Nation of Islam on one side, and then you got the Lynch Mob, like his gang banging homies on the other side. Look, you got a St. Ice patch, that's crazy.
That's the best Ice Cube album by far.
Yeah, Lethal Injection was tight.
Yeah. That's the first one that he did like West Coast Gangsta too.
Yeah.
The America's Most Wanted, it was more like East Coast.
Well, yeah, because the Bomb Squad produced that, did a lot of Public Enemy stuff, so he was kind of like on the East Coast dick for a second, but this is like West Coast gangster shit. One of the best diss tracks in hip hop history is No Vaseline. It's on here. Kiddies, if you're too young to know Death Certificate, look up No Vaseline, that shit's fucking crazy. And so, being an LA dude, being a West Coast dude, you know, I love gangster rap, and then I discovered underground hip hop. And one of the most important LA underground hip hop groups, one of the most important hip hop groups, period, is the Freestyle Fellowship. To whom it may concern, I don't know why they're selling it as 2 separate vinyls, but they are. This is side A and side C, and here is side B and side D. Freestyle Fellowship was AC Alone, Micah 9, Self Jupiter, Peace. Micah 9 is probably one of the greatest rappers of all time. And actually, it's really funny, speaking about Freestyle Fellowship, Diplo, before Mad Decent, for all the dancey shit, he actually was a hip-hop DJ and producer, and he DJ'd a track for Peace, who's on the Freestyle Fellowship. Okay. Some little hip-hop history for you, but this is so fucking important, I can't express it enough. And not only that, so like, they also rap really fast, and they were like the originators of like chopping, of like, and like, there's a song, I don't know if it's on this album or it's on Inner City Griot, it's called Mary. No, okay, that's on Inner City Griot. A song called Mary, which is literally where Bone Thugs got their entire fucking style from. And they're the kind of dudes where like it was like too weird for gangster rap and too gangster for underground rap. It was like this weird thing. So I got really into Freestyle Fellowship, and then I lived in Thousand Oaks at the time, and I used to listen to Santa Barbara's College Station. They play like underground hip hop, and then I heard this song called Bottle of Humans by this man right here named Soul, S-O-L-E. I don't know what record this is, they didn't have Bottle of Humans, but this is like Young Soul during that era, and this is him nowadays. And Soul started a label called Anacon. You guys probably know of Anacon today as being something completely different. Back in 99 to 2004, this is like super underground, weirdo, experimental rap. Terms got thrown around like nerd rap or emo rap, or like they'd call it fag rap, like kids would hate. Let me take it back, because check this out. So Ham on Everything, we're like purveyors of like today's underground rap. That's what we do. But I'm probably 10 years older than everyone that goes to Ham on Everything, you know? But it's like, so we do, you know, we've had in LA, we're like the first ones to do Denzel Curry, the Young Simi, the only ones to do a little Ugly Man show, fucking Ruben Slick, Lofty, Mike DC, you know, we've done all these shows, and bigger artists too, you know, Chief Keef, Juicy J, but it really caters to like that new underground shit. When I was in my 20s, like, this was the kind of underground rap that I was into, was like Anacon, and I was just like a kid that would go to shows, you know, like I wasn't involved in the scene or whatever. So what's important to me now in my 30s and doing Ham on Everything is that I'm like a curator, and like I'm involved in like providing this platform for, like, you know, because this is like the shit now, Denzel Curry, etc., Bones, Chris Travis, all that is literally like it's the same thing as this underground hip hop scene. It's just subject matter is different, but it's the same like DIY underground shit. And now instead of just being a fan that I used to go to these shows, now I'm the one like creating this atmosphere for the fans that were my age when I was doing this shit. So this is like, I don't know what kind of bridge I'm trying to build here, but you feel me. Anyway, so Anacon was super important to me, and this is when I got into this is like weirdo experimental rap, cats like Soul, Pedestrian, Y, which some of you might know Y as a band, but before Y was a band, it was the name of the lead singer Yoni. It was his rap name. I'm gonna get back to this because this will link in. You know, this is some more Anacon shit. Buck 65. This is a 12-inch single for Centaur, which is a crazy song. And then from that, I also got into Living Legends, you know, which a lot of you probably know Murs, but you know, before that there was like Eli. This is Sideways Days. I don't really fuck with CDs, but they didn't have this on vinyl. Sideways Days, very important. Scare Rubs, all Living Legend shit. So the crews I was into was like Freestyle Fellowship was Project Blowed, Soul and Buck 65, and Y was Anacon, Living Legends. And from that I got into like shit like Aesop Rock. So we dropped an album this year that's fucking fire. This is Labor Days, classic. And from that I got into really into Atmosphere. And this to me is like, this changed everything. And it was like all the songs, like God Loves Ugly, there's a song called Fuck You Lucy. So he'd like talk about this girl Lucy Ford, which was, you know, Lucifer. So he was kind of demonizing these women that he had like codependent relationships with, which is something I relate to a lot. So this is important to me. And then it's funny because there's a connection I always make. So if you know Slug or you know Atmosphere, was like people first would clown and be like, oh, this is emo rap, this is emo rap. But he'd actually rap about like, sure there was emotional stuff on it, but also he rapped about having sex with numerous girls and not being able to commit. And he has like a singy song flow. Sort of like Drake. To me, Atmosphere was Drake before Drake. Because same thing, people try to criticize it as emo rap. But honestly, he's talking about like not being able to commit to women and having sex with strippers and shit like that. And he has that singy song flow. There's a connection. And not only that, in 2011, this was the best album of that year. Hands down. It was amazing. So, you know, I grew up a rap kid, and like I said, this is how this comes back into play, Anacon. So they had really weird rap styles or whatever, and there's Y, who's like a band now. But at the time, I knew this girl. This is now when I was 21, so it's like 2002. I just aged myself. I wasn't into indie rock or bands. I only like hip hop up till the point I was 21. And she played me Modest Mouse. She didn't play me this album, but she played me Lonesome Crowd at West, which is my favorite album by them. She played me this song, Doing the Cockroach, where he opens up and he goes, I was in heaven, I was in hell, believe in neither, but fear them as well. And that line just resonated with me when I heard it in her room. And the way he sings, it's like off-key kind of, and it's kind of the way that Y would rap. So I was like, holy shit, this sounds like if Y was to like make indie music. And from that point on, I just like loved Modest Mouse. And actually, this album is important everywhere in his Nasty Parlor Tricks, because there's a song in here called Night on the Sun. You know, before him on everything, like a year before that, I used to do another show series called Hipsters Who Art Hip Hop, where I had like, you know, actually I had Scare Rub play Hipsters Who Art Hip Hop, and it was more like this backpack indie underground shit that I grew up on. And then I started doing Ham on Everything, and I started blowing up. I was working some bullshit job at a smoothie bar for these fucking douchebags, you know? Yeah. And I used to close there, and then, you know, close at 11 p.m. and no one would be there at night, and I was listening to Modest Mouse, and Night on the Sun came on, and there's a line where he says something like, this world is bound and willing to explode. And I kept thinking about that, this world is bound and willing to explode. And what if the world did fucking end tomorrow and I'm working this bullshit smoothie job? Well, at the time, Ham on Everything was really picking up traction. People were talking about it. I was like being recognized for it, and I was like, but I couldn't put all my focus into it because it's a fucking bullshit job. And so that night, while listening to Night on the Sun, I decided to quit my job. And like that week, I quit that shit. That was the summer 2011. I haven't had another job since. It's been Ham on Everything full time, and it's been a blessing. Like this shit's become a career. I thought after 6 weeks, after the summer 2011, I had to find another bullshit job. You know, I thought it would just like, you know, to be a summer thing. So, very important to me. Anyway, so I got into Modest Mouse, and then eventually I got into, when I were gonna go to the emo section, I got into Bright Eyes. This shit is so fucking important to me. This is the first Bright Eyes album I heard, Fevers and Mirrors. And Bright Eyes just like, to me, he's like the best songwriter of our time. He's like, you know, I'm not a Bob Dylan fan, but I'd say he's like the Bob Dylan of this era. I even have tattooed on me, this says, let's sail away past the cradle of these waves. That's a Bright Eyes lyric. Shattered in the heart, scattered in the brain is a Bright Eyes lyric. just very important to me. And out of, I go to a lot of shows. I've seen Bright Eyes play probably 12 fucking times, more than I've seen anyone else. There's times where I went to the LA show, the Santa Barbara show, the San Diego show, all on the same fucking weekend. It's so important to me. This is Fevers and Mirrors, letting off the happiness, great EP. But this came out, sort of recently, called Noise Floor Rarities. Because at the time I didn't buy records or tapes, it was like Napster and Soulseek and Morpheus, and you download music. And this has a lot of like the offshoot songs that weren't on any of the albums. This is like great shit, Bright Eyes. From that I got into more emo shit. Elliott Smith, you probably know of Elliott Smith, he ended up killing himself. Amazing artist. This is his best record in my opinion, either or. Between the Bars, that song could fucking make me cry. I got into stuff like the Mountain Goats. This is like a indie folk, band, a lot of 4-track stuff. All Hail West Texas is a great fucking album. Really intense shit. Love it. And then I got into more emo-ish type of stuff like Brand New. This is probably not the most popular album, but to me this is their first record. Your Favorite Weapon, it's my favorite. It's like very more pop punk, and I love this shit. I got into more pop punk stuff. Get Up Kids, 4 Minute Mile, great record. This one's probably a little more popular, still great, but I like the raw energy of this one. It's like, almost more, pop punky. I also DJ this monthly party called Emo Night, which is, for those of you in LA, it's at the Echoplex every first Tuesday of the month. I DJ on the patio, and it was great when they asked me to DJ because like I said, I'm such a fan of like, Bright Eyes, Brand New, Get Up Kids. And from doing that, it's like kids still probably younger than me, and at first I tried to play Bright Eyes and stuff like that. It didn't go off too well. They wanted to hear like, 2006, 2008 emo, which I wasn't into at the time. But now, like, I love this shit. Like, My Chemical Romance, this record, Alina, So Long and Goodnight, I'm Not Okay, I Promise. Like, I love this shit now. This is the kind of shit at Emo Night that goes off crazy. Great fucking record. And Brand New just announced this tour that they're doing with Front Bottoms and Martin Baseball. Which to me, so there's like this whole emo revival happening right now of all these new like emo bands. It's usually affiliated with stuff like You Blew It, The World's a Beautiful Place, I'm Not Afraid to Die. To me, Front Bottoms and Modern Baseball is amazing. And the fact that Brand New's taking them on a tour, to me that's like passing the torch to like the new generation. This first Front Bottoms record is fucking so good. The first Modern Baseball record is so fucking good. There's other like, emo revival bands like Tiny Moving Parts, very similar like vocal stylings as these two bands, but it's more like math rock and like intricate guitars. Fucking awesome shit. This band Free Throw, they didn't have the vinyl, another fucking great band. And that's it, and I just had a couple of things that didn't fit in my storyline, but this is one of the greatest albums of all time. Postal Service, the 10-year anniversary edition just came out, has 15 additional fucking bonus tracks. This is crazy. I should probably buy this. Postal Service, amazing. Another amazing band to me is Radiohead, and I feel like no matter what they do or how experimental their albums are, it still is accepted by mainstream culture, which is so fucking rare. To me, Kid A is like so fucking experimental, but still, mainstream America accepts it. And I talk about emo music. A lot of it's fun, even though it's sad. When I want to really get sad, though, this is the darkest fucking record ever. This is Cure's third album. The record before this was called Faith, and that was like a pretty dark record. And it's like, well, this shit is dark. You didn't think he could top it. This is the darkest fucking. The first song on here, 100 Years. The first words of this album is "It doesn't matter if we all die." This shit is so fucking. This shit is so fucking dark. This is like he was thinking about quitting the band. He was fucking fucked up on drugs. This is pretty intense shit. It's my 70 slaps in the sack.
The longest slaps ever.
Woo!